Welcome to today's episode, and what I'm going to be doing is building a melon and pumpkin farm because I want to start trading with these guys right here. This guy just staring at me. So one thing that I want to work on, which is really annoying me right off the bat, is the villagers. There are way more villagers than I should have. I guess I put down too many beds, and it also seems like they wander out of range, which creates problems. There are villagers that I leveled up that I can't find, and then there are villagers like this guy who have random jobs because I've been placing job site blocks down. So I want to fix that and corral them into one spot. See, like that, there's a villager in my bed. That's my bed. I sleep here. So to deal with the villagers, I'm just getting rid of all of the beds. And this is the last one. So the reason I'm doing that is just to stop them from breeding constantly. Oh, there's another one here. So here is the villager trap. Just put some trap doors. You know, villagers will think there are full blocks, will try to walk over to the bed. You don't really need anything this complicated because villagers aren't very smart. If you just put a 2-block high hole, they'll just fall into it. So I didn't really need to do something this complicated. But hopefully we can get an idea of how many villagers I actually have. And I think this area is pretty lit up, so there won't be a disaster of a hostile mob killing them all. You know, one of the good things about being in a giant plains biome is that if I need leather, this area spawns a ton of passive mobs, so all I gotta do is wander around and find some cows. Well, looks like this is working, although the water levels are creating issues. A baby snuck over there somehow. So the next thing should be a little fun. I'm going to do a 3x4 map just to show the progress when I eventually start building a lot more in this area. I probably should have done this in the first episode, but you know, resources. So anyways, let's fill this out. Let's see how that looks. Okay, that looks pretty good. So I am out of range of that one. And let's see how the next one looks. Looks pretty solid. Which direction do I want to go? So I assume that most people know how to use a map, but for those uninitiated, this is the smallest size at 128 by 128. There's basically a grid that makes up the world that each map fills out that grid space. So basically I'm just going outside of the map and then grabbing a new map and filling it out like that. And as long as you don't keep going into the same grid, it should be easy to go. So I'm basically gonna go this way and then go out of range of this map and fill it out. You can obviously expand the maps to be even larger. With this one, I'm just trying to keep it simple and small, but you can expand it out to 2048 blocks. So here is the before map. So there's still some stuff I want to do, like lock in these maps and clone them. But I don't have the resources to do that right now, so I can just stare and look at the pretty colors. It is a very large plains biome. I would like to get a sense of what's around here more because I have a poor sense of direction and I'm not sure where everything is. I think all of the biomes I've checked out are in that direction, so I don't really know what's in all the other directions around here. But it's a pretty map. So next is to fix this. So what happened clearly when this world was generated is this is a river. I'm pretty sure of it. So if you look here, the biome is a river. But because the village generated next to it, it overrode it. So it kind of messed this river up. So what I'm going to do is fill it in and kind of make it more flat. So it'll make it easier to build next to the village. Man, this doesn't even look like the same area. It is crazy how much space that opened up. So now it is completely flat, so I can build a lot more on here. I probably could have done it a lot easier than I did, filling it all with dirt. I probably could have just done stone and then put dirt on top, but I guess I had to do it the hard way. So the next thing I want to do is work on my starter house. So I built the base of it. I didn't do as much detail as I wanted to in the first episode because I think I overdid it and did too much, but everything is set up. So the first thing I want to do is add some more space to this platform because right now I can't do anything on the sides because it's so close to the side here. So I'm going to do that on both sides. And then there's a ton of stuff I want to do. Add some windows, definitely add some landscaping and flower beds and a lot of stuff like that. this is the finished result. Now there are way more space for me to build and to do some activities if I wanted to. Maybe run over here. Maybe run back over there. Before I start, I needed to grab some resources. That means a boat ride, of course. I need to find a lush cave biome, and specifically an azalea tree. Where I'm at is all dripstone caves. I spotted a bunch of azalea trees in desert biomes. I dug down following the rooted dirt blocks to a lush cave biome. I wanted some clay, and lush caves is probably the best spot to find clay as the floor is made up of clay. I also wanted some moss blocks. Moss blocks are great as you can apply bone meal. They turn other blocks around them into moss blocks or generate azaleas and flowering azaleas. I wanted the moss blocks so I could eventually get some azalea and flowering azalea leaves from this. And here is the haul from that trip. So I got tons of good stuff. It's always interesting at the beginning when you're just trying to collect stuff, trying to remember how to get it. But I got the moss blocks, I got azaleas, jungle saplings, clay, and a couple other goodies. However, halfway through that, I realized that I could have got clay in a lot easier of a way. And that was through dripstone. So the easy way to get clay is right here. You put dripstone underneath a block and then dirt on top. You turn the dirt into mud and eventually the mud will dry out and become clay. But the next thing I'm going to do is build. So here is the finished house. So let's check out my crib. So here is the front and all the changes I made. So I made the front a little more round to give it some dimension. I used azalea leaves and flower azalea leaves all around the place here. And originally I was going to use cherry leaves, but it was a little too pink. I used some of the decorated pots, which look great. I added something around here because it was just too much white by itself and added some windows. On the side here, I have the flower bed, which I probably should let it have some grass under here instead of dirt. I have some stairs that go up to the second level, which has a patio up there and more leaves over here. So on the back here, you can see I put a path all the way around here, and I put the more leaves and more things around the windows, and more windows and doors are added. And on this side, I put a balcony for the bedroom. And on the inside, I put a lot of lighting, just some lanterns to light everything up so mobs won't spawn. In the storage room, I just put 2 windows on each side, nothing else really different. I forgot a creeper blew this spot up. And this is the smelting room, so you can see the furnaces, the iron, and I went more with brick, granite, and polished granite look with clay as the floor. I like this clay blocks for the floor because it has a little bit of, I guess, noise or texture to it that makes it stand out rather than just something solid. And then right through here is the map room. So it just has the before map and then 2 buried treasure maps, although they look crazy if you go far away from them. And then some station of some different blocks I can use. And here's the second level. So I got rid of the path that was like this on that side just to bring in the walls a bit more for the roof. And here is the patio right here. You can see some wheat. I have some glowberries that are supposed to be like something like a vine. And then I have composters if I want to get more bone meal. And then right here is the bedroom. You can see lots of paintings on here, some flower pots, and a little bureau, I guess, over here. And then the chiseled bookshelves are a great addition in the game, and some carpet. And then right through here is the patio. And I can overlook this weird area over here. And right through here is nothing. I'm going to eventually put some brewery stuff in here. So I'm going to have a brewing room where I can brew some potions. But I have not gone into the nether enough to be able to get that stuff yet. And then here is the library or enchanting room. So you can see this gets up to, I think, level 30 if you look at here. So that's a bit tricky with the bookshelves, but I have been filling everything out with the chiseled bookshelves. As I said, these are a great addition in this update. Basically, they're a lot cheaper to use than the other stuff. And of course, grindstones, anvils, lots of chests and crafting tables. So next thing I'm going to need to do is get resources for the melon and pumpkin farm. As you can tell here, I don't have that much quartz or iron. I have tons of gold and redstone. so that's not a problem. And I got tons of cobblestone blocks or other blocks I can use, but the iron is the big thing. So I gotta go and maybe search around the surface or in some mountains to find some iron. First, I went to the nether to get some nether quartz. Unfortunately, I figured out where all of my villagers were going. This is a lot of villagers. From there, I got some quartz, went back into the caves and tried to get some iron, but I failed at that as I was next to a ledge. Eventually got some iron ores. I had to go to the Badlands to get some red sand to craft some red sandstone for my build. I needed more clay, so I used the dripstone trick I talked about earlier. The mud turns into clay a lot quicker than I had thought. So after that trip to the caves, I already had 12 and I have 46 here. And I also got some gold and some redstone, but I think that is enough iron to do the actual pumpkin and melon farm. And here is the spot I'm going to be doing my pumpkin and melon farm. Does this guy have any good trades? Doesn't look like it. So anyways, this is the spot. I have all of my supplies over here. I think that is enough. So one thing I'm going to try to do this time in this world is not just build the farm, but try to build stuff around it so there's actually a building for it, or at least with some farms, and this one specifically. So I think this is a good spot next to everything else. It's off a bit. So let's get started with the time lapse. And here is the finished pumpkin and melon farm. I think actually building something around it was a lot better route than just building the farm. So it has two different levels to it, and let's check out the inside. Lots of wood with stripped oak, and I think that's spruce planks. And you can see it is producing a lot of pumpkin and melon, enough for a lot of villager trading. I think that is enough for today, so thank you guys for watching.